The news summary. Good evening. The Truth, Reconciliation and National Unity Commission, TRNUC, has congratulated the health authorities for the efficient rollout of vaccination in the country. TRNUC's chairperson, Gabrielle McIntyre, says the rollout has enabled the Commission to recommence its public sessions today. During the only public session today, a victim pardoned his perpetrator.
The Commission will reschedule the sessions that were to be held during the first 3 months of the year, but Mrs. McIntyre adds that the Commission has been busy during the period that it has not been sitting.
It has focused its energies on its investigations, and it has determined a number of its cases and made good progress in the determination of others. Nonetheless, the work of the Commission remains significantly constrained by capacity and resource issues, and its efficiency is very much dependent upon the cooperation of information providers. Given its limited temporal mandate, the Commission urges expeditious responses to its requests for information from all information providers so as not to unduly hinder the Commission's progress.
In the public session, a victim, Weston Weeds, has pardoned former Army officer Robert Ernesta, whom he says was responsible for him being beaten up by soldiers more than 20 years ago. Mr. Ernesta had sent soldiers to his home after receiving a call from his daughter, who was alone in the house. They found Mr. Weeds, who had approached the house to seek Mr. Ernesta's help for a friend whom the Army had arrested. Meanwhile, the Commission is working with other perpetrators.
But we really do need to make sure that people are going to be respectful of our processes. We have had many concerns in the past about the reactions of the public, especially on Facebook, identifying people and judging them, and we're not judging them. And Mr. Ernesta this morning spoke about the impact on his family, about his involvement in these processes, and it's really not helpful to the work of this Commission. We have a responsibility. It's not just to the complainant, it's also to the person being accused. And we need the public to really support us in that and to not be judgmental or targeting people on social media.
The 2 weeks public and private sessions will go on until the 23rd of this month.
There was a heated debate in the National Assembly early this afternoon as members discussed subventions to political parties in the 2021 appropriation bill. More details in this report.
On this issue, the MNA for Montbuxton, Gervais Henry, suggested that political parties ought to make sacrifices at a time when the country is experiencing economic hardship. He suggested that with no election coming up, political parties could make do with 5 million rupees rather than 6.5 million proposed in the budget. He said political parties could always try to raise funds elsewhere. The point was later taken up by the leader of government business, Bernard Georges, who suggested a freeze of 1.5 million rupees until discussions on the issue are held with political parties. However, the leader of the opposition, Sébastien Pillet, fiercely opposed the suggestion. He pointed out that such a decision could only be taken after consultations have been made with political parties themselves. No compromise could be reached. The leader of government business proposed a simple amendment to freeze 1.6 million rupees from the subvention to political parties until such time that a final decision is made, possibly during the mid-year budget review.
And earlier today, the Assembly approved subventions and grants to several entities, public enterprises and non-governmental organizations. They included Air Seychelles. The designated minister, Jean-François Ferrari, who was replacing the Minister for Finance, told the Assembly that he was optimistic about the future of Air Seychelles. Minister Ferrari said the government was doing their utmost to save Air Seychelles and all the services linked to the company, including ground handling services, which is a lucrative source of revenue. The Chief Commercial Officer of PUC, Michel Zialo, says that PUC has started to adjust the electricity bills of households and businesses based on their actual consumption. He indicated that for 3 months, from January to mid-March of this year, PUC mostly estimated consumption because their officers could not read the electricity meters in view of public health restrictions. However, as of mid-March, they have started to read the meters and are therefore able to calculate what people really used from January to March. He clarified that in cases where the estimations were below the actual consumption, the consumers have noticed an increase in their electricity bill. As of the 30th of this month, STC Victoria Supermarket will be closing down due to the negative impacts of COVID-19 on the economy, according to a communique from the company. STC says no staff will lose their jobs, but will instead be redeployed to enhance its service delivery. Meanwhile, the STC hypermarket will remain open for business as usual. STC also notes that it has embarked on negotiations with the Retailers Association and its distributors to support its national effort to reduce the cost of living in the country. And also in the news this Monday, operators in the tourism industry have got an additional online platform from which to promote their business. This is Parapi, a tourism digital platform which was launched by the Seychelles Tourism Board STB this morning. Parapi, which has been partly named after the endemic black parrot, follows the model of an Australian digital platform. It basically collects, stores and redistributes data through multiple channels and platforms. The data are divided into 12 categories and translated into multiple languages: English, French, German, and even Italian.
The ultimate aim is to collectively boost and increase the digital presence of Seychelles as a destination, and simultaneously all of our operators as well to increase their digital presence online. How it will work, basically all of our tourism operators, all of our suppliers will have to register in the platform and upload all their details about their activities or business, including photos and videos if they have. We will in turn approve the data which they have supplied in there. And once it's published, it will also be published across all the distributors' platform connected through the Parapi at the same time. Direct benefit for our visitors is that all of a sudden they would see in one place increased a generous amount of tourism-related information, and that will allow them to be able to build their itineraries, to make decisions about their holiday, and to allow them to also convert the booking almost instantly as well.
And that's it for this news summary. Join me again at 8 for the news in Creole. Good evening.